Debbie Reynolds, America's sweetheart, a force of nature, a true Hollywood legend. Her life was a movie in itself, and at the heart of that story were her two children, Carrie Fisher and Todd Fisher, born into a world of dazzling fame, public scandals, and an extraordinary mother-daughter-son bond. What happens when your mom is Debbie Reynolds and your dad is Eddie Fisher? Let's dive into the real story of what happened to Debbie Reynolds' kids. Number 2, Carrie Fisher. Born on October 21, 1956 in Burbank, California, straight into Hollywood's elite, her mom, Debbie Reynolds, was America's sweetheart. Her dad, Eddie Fisher, a chart-topping singer. Carrie was, as she famously quipped, a product of Hollywood inbreeding. But the fairy tale shattered early. When Carrie was just a toddler, her parents' marriage exploded in one of the biggest scandals of the era. Eddie Fisher left Debbie Reynolds for Elizabeth Taylor, Debbie's close friend. This very public betrayal and divorce left a huge mark. Carrie was mostly raised by her mom, growing up in the aftermath. Despite the drama, Carrie found her own world in books, becoming a bookworm and writing poetry, early signs of the brilliant writer she'd become. Carrie's move into performing seemed almost inevitable. Her Broadway debut came in 1973, in Irene, alongside her mom. Her movie debut was in 1975 in Shampoo, then came 1977 and Star Wars. At 19, Carrie Fisher became Princess Leia Organa. Princess Leia wasn't a typical damsel. She was a leader, a fighter, full of defiance, assertiveness, and strength. Carrie played Leia in the original trilogy and returned as General Leia in the sequel trilogy. Princess Leia was forever linked to Carrie, a fame that brought opportunity, but also challenges. But Carrie was more than Leia. She's shown in films like The Blues Brothers, Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters, and as Sally's sharp-witted best friend Marie in When Harry Met Sally. She was also hilarious in the soap opera satire, Soap Dish. Her TV work earned her 2 Primetime Emmy nominations for guest roles in 30 Rock and Catastrophe, and she voiced Angela on Family Guy for over a decade. While her face was known worldwide, Carrie Fisher's truest voice, sharp, hilarious, and brutally honest, exploded onto the literary scene. In 1987, her novel Postcards from the Edge, a semi-autobiographical story about an actress dealing with addiction and Hollywood, was a critical hit. She followed this with other insightful novels like Surrender the Pink and Delusions of Grandma. Her memoirs were even more revealing. Her one-woman stage show, Wishful Drinking, became a best-selling book in 2008, a hilarious, no-holds-barred tour of her extraordinary life, from Hollywood scandals to Princess Leia, bipolar disorder, addiction, and her failed marriage to Paul Simon. She continued with Chocoholic and her final memoir, The Princess Diarist, based on her Star Wars diaries, which famously revealed her affair with Harrison Ford and won her a posthumous Grammy. Beyond her own books, Carrie was a secret weapon in Hollywood as a highly sought-after script doctor, polishing screenplays for hits like Hook, Sister Act, and even some Star Wars prequels. Carrie Fisher lived her life under a microscope, but chose to confront her personal challenges with radical openness. Her romantic life included a brief, intense marriage to Paul Simon and a significant relationship with talent agent Brian Lord, with whom she had her beloved daughter, Billie Lord, now an actress herself. That relationship ended when Lord left her for another man, an experience Carrie discussed with her usual candor. Central to Carrie's story were her lifelong battles with mental illness and addiction. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 24, she often said her drug use, starting with marijuana at 13, was partly an attempt to self-medicate. Her struggles were harrowing, but her willingness to speak about these uninvited guests publicly and without shame was revolutionary. "I am mentally ill. I can say that. I am not ashamed of that," she declared. Her openness about her dual diagnosis, bipolar disorder, and substance addiction helped countless others. The relationship between Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds was legendary, complex, deeply loving, and intensely public. Early adoration turned to friction as Carrie saw her own identity, leading to a nearly decade-long estrangement in Carrie's 20s. "I did not want to be Debbie Reynolds' daughter," she said. But time and healing led to a profound reconciliation. Debbie bought the house next door to Carrie, and they became incredibly close. Their bond captured beautifully in the HBO documentary Bright Lights. Starring Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, which Todd Fisher produced, the final heartbreaking chapter came in December 2016. Carrie died on December 27th at age 60. The very next day, Debbie Reynolds died at 84. According to Todd, Debbie's last words were, "I want to be with Carrie." They were buried together. Her honesty about mental illness and addiction made her a hero. Princess Leia made her a feminist icon. She was a brilliant writer and a comedic genius. Posthumous honors include a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and being named a Disney legend. She redefined strength as radical vulnerability, empowering millions. Number 1. Todd Fisher, born on February 24, 1958, in Burbank. His parents, Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, divorced in a massive scandal when Todd was just a baby. He was even named after Mike Todd, Elizabeth Taylor's late husband. Raised primarily by Debbie, his father, Eddie, was barely present. Todd admitted he didn't shed a tear when Eddie died. Not out of bitterness, but because of the lasting impact his father's absence had on Debbie and Carrie. The unconventional, close-knit family led by the resilient Debbie also faced financial struggles. From a young age, around 15, Todd became the family caretaker and fixer. A role that showcased his enduring sense of duty, Todd Fisher built a remarkably diverse career. With a keen interest in the technical side of filmmaking, he became one of the youngest members of the IATSE labor union. He directed the TV series Movie Memories with Debbie Reynolds, and poignantly, the 2017 TV special Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher's Celebration of Life. He was also a producer on the acclaimed HBO documentary Bright Lights. In the early 80s for Trinity Broadcasting Network, he wrote, produced, directed, and even starred in a comedy TV show called Nightlight as Reverend Hype, a satire on televangelists featuring talents like Dan Aykroyd. Todd also has a strong background in architectural design and sound engineering. He designed the 500-seat showroom for his mother's Debbie Reynolds Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, which also served as a TV production studio, and conceived the Hollywood Motion Picture Museum within it. He held top executive roles at the hotel and management company. His corporate experience includes being a senior producer at Walt Disney Studios in charge of the Disney Princesses line. Currently, he's co-founder, executive producer, and art director for WonkyBot Entertainment, producing popular children's podcasts. A distinct part of Todd's life is his spiritual journey. He became a born-again Christian in 1980 and was ordained as a minister in 1982, co-founding the Hiding Place Church. Todd Fisher consistently and lovingly referred to his mother and sister as "my girls." His 2018 memoir, My Girls, A Lifetime with Carrie and Debbie, is a testament to this deep bond. He was a steadfast supporter throughout Carrie's battles and his mother's challenges. The deaths of Carrie and Debbie, just a day apart, thrust Todd into the role of public griever and legacy guardian. Todd has passionately taken up his mother's dream of preserving her vast collection of Hollywood costumes and memorabilia. After years of setbacks for Debbie, Todd collaborated with the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, which named its conservation studio the Debbie Reynolds Conservation Studio. He also announced plans for a tribute museum at the Debbie Reynolds Dance Studio. Tending to their legacies, he said, "Ease is Todd Fisher's grief." Todd Fisher is married to actress and entrepreneur Catherine Hickland, wed in 2012. An ordained minister, he's also a licensed pilot, golfer, and an avid collector of classic film equipment, a passion mirroring his mother's. He directs an upcoming TV series, Science of Survival, and does speaking engagements. As of 2018, he resided in Las Vegas. While forever linked to his family's fame, Todd has crafted a private, public life, balancing his diverse interests with his crucial role as CEO of the Hollywood Motion Picture Experience. Their intertwined story is one of incredible highs, heartbreaking lows, immense love, and unwavering resilience. They navigated the often brutal landscape of fame with wit, courage, and a deep commitment to family.